Did you know that Africa is the second largest continent, holding a population of approximately 1.5 billion people? But it is said in such a large number, we still seem to be lagging behind in nearly all the things that we do. But what could be the reason of all this? My audience, join me on this journey as I try to uncover some little things that could be the reasons of who we are today, of who we were yesterday, and of who we could be in the near future, of what our offsprings could be if we do not give ourselves the chance to unlearn and to learn some of the little things that could not make sense to you right now, but could be the reason of what our mindset is.
Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the road back home, right? On this channel, I share a lot of things about my view of the African continent, from what I have been learning as I have been taking like this journey since I moved from Zimbabwe to South Korea for my studies. It has been a journey on its own, but most of all, I am really grateful that, I've been able to get some time to learn some things that I personally think as Africans we can change to make our continent a better continent, and also just some things that we take for granted, whilst we do not see that they are actually like the best things that we have, but just because no one has been able to tell us, or just because sometimes we see it, but we just do not want to admit for some reasons, right? So the last time I was talking about one of the pillar which shapes like a person, just in general, like our general upbringing from our homes. If you did not watch that video, please go and watch it, because I think I'm going to put it like somewhere. But I feel like the home shapes our mindsets as individuals. But today I'm going to be talking about the second pillar, which is our school environment. So just a disclaimer, like in this video, I'm not like trying to compare African education to other continent educations. No. My point or my wish after this video, we should be able to just have some idea of what we could be doing wrong. Because my question in the beginning was, how come Africa has like one of the best education system, in the sense of we really do teach our children like with proper schedules, with strictness, if I can say, but yet we produce well equipped or well educated individuals. But at the end of the day, these individuals seem not to be getting opportunities within our environment, like in Africa, or some individuals end up like just jobless, right? Why? What could be this reason? And I literally just came up with one answer, which I think is true. It's because we are teaching things that are not applicable to our environment. You know, I have come to realize and I've come to understand that Africa, the best thing, especially like from the southern part where I come from, I'm from Zimbabwe, we are just good. Sorry, we just have good soils, meaning our land is good for agriculture, right? But to be honest, like we have not wanted to like accept this, and we have not wanted to like be associated into agriculture, especially like the youth, for many reasons, which I also think have been lied to us so that we do not optimize or use this land that we have because of some brainwashing that has been done to us as Africans. But let's go back to the main story of today. I'm talking about our education system. I think we have gained independence, but we are still following the education system that was set for us by our colonizers. Because if we go back to our school environments, I don't know of other African schools, but definitely in Zimbabwe, we still find that we are still learning based on some curriculums that were set for us, like back in the days. Some of the things, even like the textbooks on them, on their textbooks that do not even like apply to Zimbabwe. So, like, come on, tell me if we continuously learn things that the child is not even able like to, what do you call this, to take into practice, then to be honest, I think we are just doing nothing, but rather we are equipping our children to find better opportunities elsewhere, which is not the best idea if we intend our countries to grow. So I personally think, like, as I said, like before, like for agriculture and farming, it is high time as Africans, it is high time as Zimbabwe to start putting like some of these practical skills to teach our children that this is what we have bestly available for us. And it has to be compulsory, like for every child to learn maybe some farming skills and all that. And I feel like if we incorporate all these things, for example, like farming, right? Well, it's my don't mind me when I continuously like just say farming, 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 but that's the best practical thing that comes close to me when I think about Africa and when I think about Zimbabwe, specifically my country. So you can imagine if we continuously put our effort towards teaching our children farming, basically not just concentrating on farming, but allowing it to be mandatory. Why? Because it's something applicable in our country. It's something readily available for us. I tell you, as time goes on, we are going to notice that we are able to like continuously improve the methods that are associated with farming. I feel like sometimes like even like agricultural technologies should be first coming from Africa because we have like the land bestly suitable like for us to study and to like make experiments and all that to see what things are evolving within the agricultural space, but rather we have allowed other continents, which to be honest, like they have been able to take farming seriously because they know it's something really, really necessary for an economy to grow, not just for their own economy, but they can even take that to the next level. So I think that is why even we have to some extent been used because oftentimes we find, like in Zimbabwe, like nowadays, the blueberries, they are like on high demand. Other countries come, they import our blueberries, but the amount of money which these blueberries are being sold here, I think he would literally like have a heartbreak because our own original farmers are not getting that best, because I just think we do not have the, what can I say, the rightful ability to know the value that we carry within our soils as Africa, as Zimbabwe. So let me go back again to the issue of the school upbringing. I think it's high time in our schools, let's start taking great notice over things that shape our economy. Why not start focusing on things that are easy, on things that are easily applicable for our children to be able to take into practice and to bring about really good results for our people, for our country, for our economy, and for the continent. Sometimes till now, like I ask myself, like, why did I learn this? Why did I learn that? I do not even know some of the things I was learning because they are not around my environment. And I have only actually come to know about them when I moved to South Korea, because some of the things I can now relate, like, oh, this is what they were talking about, because I'm now in the environment where these things are. We learn in our textbooks, they are only examples of the United States. But what about that child who is never going to get the opportunity of going to the United States? Do you think that information is really relevant? It's not. I think it's high time for us to take every step intentionally. The information we are feeding our children, let it be intentional. Let us like dig deep. Let us take time. I wish we could take time to re-revise even the books that we teach our children. Why not start putting the examples that associate with the environment that we are in? Why not teach them the things that they can apply in their day-to-day lifestyle? The things that are applicable to the banks around them. You know, like bake home. Well, there are some things like maybe like bond securities and all that when it comes to finance and all that. It's really not yet like that strong. So why like put too much emphasis on it when it's only something that could be more applicable to people who are like in the USA, who are like in the United States, right? And all this. So I think Africans, it's high time we start becoming intentional over the information we allow our children to hear, over the information we allow the teachers to teach our children, right? And also, it is within the school environment where some things, for example, we have literally been the reason why our children are choosing other continents against our continents. Well, there are many other reasons like economic downfalls and all that that make children move to other countries. But I also think it's how we are shaping them that makes them start thinking, oh, I want to go abroad. Literally, we have like things like um what do you call this, the yeah, exactly, I wanted to talk about this. I remember when I was growing up, and I know for a fact this is still happening in most schools. You are not allowed to speak like Shona, which is like our mother language. You can only speak English. If you're actually like found speaking English, it's a punishable offense. But look at this. What is this rule really trying to tell the African child? What is this rule really trying to tell the Zimbabwean child? You're literally putting this gap of saying English is more important than Shona, whilst we are in Zimbabwe where Shona should be more than English. And we do not actually realize that this starts affecting like many things along the way. Our children start many children. I've met many people who are not even fluent in Shona whilst they are staying in Zimbabwe. And these people or these children, they are not even able like to clearly communicate with some family members, especially like their grandparents. Why? Because their English has just become too like British like, and yet they are in Zimbabwe. Well, yes, I'm not saying do not learn English. I am saying why not start prioritizing what matters within the environment that we are in? Why not start giving ourselves value, giving our language value? You know, after coming to South Korea, I've literally realized the power of language. This side, no one speaks, well, people speak English, but they do not speak English. I don't know. It kind of doesn't make sense, right? But what I'm saying is, if I am to go outside right now, even if someone can speak English, they literally would look at me and they wait till I say something in Korean because they've just come to the point of realizing and appreciating that their country's culture, their country's language has more value than that of other countries. You know, I believe like there's just a culture, there's just value with us being able to appreciate our language. I feel like language has this connection, it has this value, it has that we have not been able to master as Africans, that we have not been able to master as Zimbabweans. To some extent, you can imagine in 10 years to come, if we continue doing this, it means we are literally brainwashing, or okay, we are literally eradicating our own language. We are literally making Shona go to an extinct. And would that be worth it? It's not worth it. It's not. Let's preserve one of the little things that differentiate us as Africans, that differentiate us as Zimbabweans, that differentiate us as Nigerians, that differentiate us as Mozambicans, Malawians, Botswanese, Congolese, all the African countries. It's high time we start preserving our own languages, the things that give us the uniqueness that is within us. I think it's time for us to have pride in what makes us different, to have pride in what would make the enemy not understand you whilst you are communicating something valuable. Well, I'm not saying like other continents are enemies, but yeah, it's, you get what I'm saying. So I think our school environments, we just have to start being intentional, because what you feed the brain, what you feed the mind, we are just getting the result of it. Why not start teaching topics like how best can you start a business in Zimbabwe? How best can you start a business in Malawi despite the current economic situations? But we do have successful entrepreneurs within our environment. Why not take real case studies from those people and bring them to the school environment and actually make our children master those skills so that we start developing more and more and more little businesses within our environment without having to continuously run away from our motherland in search of greener pastures. Along the way, we are breaking families, we are breaking connections. Some people have gone through the worst situations. Some people have actually lost relatives along this whole thing of trying to move to another country, searching for greener pastures, only yet to receive the worst when they go there. I don't know how to just stress about this, but today I was just able to just dig deep into this, because after coming here, I've just been able to realize how young children are taught things that they are able to understand because it has to do with the environment they are used to what is readily available around them. Actually, if you are to ask majority of Korean students as you teach them, no one wants to leave Korea. To some extent, it could be looked like, oh, they are not like outgoing, but I believe they are just preserving what is theirs in the best way they can. And they are working towards building and shaping their country into a better country that neither you and I would be able to break, but themselves are able to carry forward, because they understand every single detail, because everything is linked to everything. So yeah, thank you so much for for joining through this video for today. Please like, please subscribe, please comment. Actually, if you leave a comment, it gives me strength to know that I am saying something that could be opening the minds, or the mindsets of different Africans. And let's have a conversation in the comment section. Please tell me, what do you think about our education system as Africans? Where do you think we are going wrong? Or maybe where do you think we are getting it good? Who knows? But please do so. And till we meet again, goodbye.